Hi guys, these are the answers to the section on pricing. So let's go through them. I'm probably going to go through a few before we'll get to 10 minutes, and I think I'll be able to get through. A number of them are quite, they're all theoretical, so that should be good. We should be able to get through quite a few before we'll do maybe one numerical and then. Right, okay, so here we are. So which of the following statements is true of pricing? Discrimination is always illegal, so that people should pay the same amount. That's just not true. Early adopters get a discount for being first in the market. That's not always true. Pricing against a similar competitor is important in the internet age. We know this is definitely true. Just go onto eBay or to Amazon. If you want to compete, you're going to really have to be careful with your pricing. So the answer is C here. Price to make the most sales in the way that you'll get the most profit. No, that's not. We know that it's very much, after our studies, it's very much about really and truly getting the greatest contribution. So it's not. You can still be making profit, but you might be making a loss even after you've sold the optimal number of units. So you should think about that. So the answer here is C. Yes, 109 is C. 109 is C. Right. Okay. 110. Let's see. So here we are. Which of the following statements regarding market penetration? So market penetration is you go in, slash your prices, it's taken advantage. What is correct? It is useful if significant economies of scale can be achieved. So really, you're kind of there for the long. Well, when I say the long term, you're going in. You know that you can, by cutting costs, you can get some of the market. There are discounts you can get on your product. And costs are falling as you're buying and buying and buying. So yes, that does make sense. It is useful if demand for a product is highly elastic. Now, what does this mean? This means that what is the willingness of people to move product when they see a change in price? If people are happy to switch products to your product if they see a change in price, then yes, that's a great idea. You should drop your price and you will attract new markets. So the answer here is D. Both are correct. Right. Let's look at 111. Which of the following conditions would need to be true for price skimming strategy to be effective? I always talk about Apple here, Apple iPhones or the iPhone. Really here, what you need almost is I was going to say a cult of followers, but you need people who are dedicated to this product. It'll be there for a short time. If it's going to be there for a long time, then why would they pay that extra bit? Or like Nike trainers, these exclusive trainers that come out for a short period of time. So typically where the product has a short life cycle, right, where it has a short life cycle, people want a piece of that, and so they go for it. And so you have C being the answer here. These products aren't really about moving. These are almost like exclusive quality products. It's not really about moving up the market and trying to encourage people, and you don't want it there for the long term. That's what keeps its sort of exclusivity, the enigma of it. So it's that short life cycle nature. So the answer here is C for 111. Right, let's look at 112. Which two of the following favors in relation to the launch of a new product, favor a penetration pricing strategy? So like we said earlier on, we want demand to be highly elastic when we talk about penetration. We want people to move to our products straight away. So this is wrong, the first one. There are significant economies of scale. So we know that we've already discussed this. That is typically the case where you have, where there can be economies of scale, where the production of every next unit costs are falling. So that's a good one. And if you definitely want to discourage new entrants to the market, so look at eBay again, or look at Amazon. You see that big suppliers, if they see that more people are coming into their market, especially new entrants, they literally just slash the price, and that just prevents them from surviving. So they regain their market share again. Definitely, if you're trying to lay a hold in the market, you want to go in low to discourage new entrants coming in, because they won't be able to meet their marginal cost, these new entrants, so they'll give up when they notice the prices aren't worth it. So 2 and 3 are really the answers here. Okay, let's carry on. Which of the following conditions must be true for a price discrimination strategy to be effective? So price discrimination strategy, I'll give you two nice examples. I would have talked about them in class. Typically think of age. Think of people catching the train. So think of the elderly who catch the train, who get discounts, and say students, and then people in the middle. Think of it that way. Or yeah, think of that. And then also just think of I think that's one. I think that's one sort of one good way. The truth is that these are different clear segments, so you cannot sort of say you can't buy a ticket at a discount. And you're sorry, that's the point. You're all using the same train. You're all using the same product, and so we know that we can sell the same product but at different prices, and people cannot move between these market segments because we'll ask for evidence. We can look at you. We can know that you're not a student, or we can know that you're not an elderly person. So the key point here is that goods must not be able to move freely between market segments. That's the point. You can't be able to cross, if you like, between different market segments. And that's a market segment, just these different markets, if you like. That's a good example. We're selling exactly the same product. So we're able to sort of do that. Or, I mean, think of nightclubs. People say things like, oh, on a Tuesday, it's a student night, so you need a student card to get in. And on a Friday, it's if you like, everyone's night. So that's 113 is B. Which of the following C is not traditionally considered when setting price? We always think of cost, always think of competition, customers, demand and supply. Cash flow is the odd one out here. We don't really focus on cash flow when trying to set price. I mean, it's not the best out of these four. It's the one that stands out the most. I'm sure you could always argue it's an essay type question, but for now, B is not sufficiently suitable. So B is not the answer. Here's B. Okay, great. So what I'm just going to do here very quickly is just kind of snippet this out and then do it. And then we'll do it in a but all I'm doing is literally just calculating these. I just actually want to calculate them. That's what's going on. Okay, yeah, look, here we are. So what does it say here? It tells us that a product has a prime cost of 12, variable overheads of 3, and fixed costs of 6. Which pricing policy gives the highest price? So let's look at this. Our prime cost here is 12, so you're telling me what would be the situation with 12 times 1.8. I'll find that out in a second. Or I go with marginal cost, which is all my variable costs, which is 12 plus 3, which is 15, times 1.6. Let's see what that is. Or I go with all my costs, absorption costs included, which is 12 plus 5, which is 15, 15 plus 6, which is 21, times 1.2. Of course, 20%. Or I finally go with, it says a net margin of 14% on selling price. So that means that my total cost, if it's margin, that means that my total cost of 21 must have been, if you like, 86%. Because if I have a margin of 14% net margin, my selling price, of course, is 100%. So the question is, what is 100%? I know that 21 pounds is equal to 86%. So the question is, what is 100%? So 12 times 1.8 gives us 21.6. 15 times 1.6 gives us 24. 21 times 1.2 gives us 25.2. And 21 divided by 0.86, which is what I'm really doing here, gives us 24.4. So C gives us the highest price when we calculate it that way. Okay, right. I won't save that. No. Let's see. Yeah, so I think that's we'll hold there, and then we'll carry on in the next video with the other calculation questions.